Well, hello there, crafting friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping. And let's see, it is August 13th, and it's time for our weekly card making lesson. I'm really excited to share something using the in colors that are new in this catalog from 2025 through 2027. Every 2 years, we get a new set that comes in and replaces an old set, but every year we actually get a new set of colors. Let me just show this to you in the catalog so you know what I'm talking about. So this is our current annual catalog from May 2025 to April 2026. And in our color collections, we always have two sets of what are called in color. And they come and join and are in the catalog, and then they stay for 2 years. So we're in our second year of Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. My favorite of that whole gang is the Petunia Pop. Now this year's are Strawberry Slush, which was a very popular in color before and has come back. You know what? It might have actually been in the color collection at one time. We have Timid Tiger, a light orange, Darling Duckling, kind of a little dirty looking yellow. So I think a little duckling that's been rolling around on the beach a bit. And then Cloud Cover, kind of a silvery blue, and Secret Sea. And I would say this is the perfect color between Night of Navy and black. And then we have our other 4 color collections always available to us. And they're arranged by subtles, brights, regals, and neutrals. So the thing about these colors is if you're new to stamping and you want to get a set of inks that really coordinate well together and you don't want to get all the colors, it's really nice just to start with a color family and they will all coordinate really well and then you can go from there. Okay, so this is the in colors today that we're going to be using. And one of the things that you can find in the catalog is there are these 6x6, and that's 48 sheets of designer series paper. So there's actually 4 different designs. And let me see if I can pick one that is, nope, that's the one we're going to be looking at here. So for example, in Darling Duckling, you have these 2 patterns, and then you flip them over, and there's 2 more. So there's 4 patterns on these pieces of paper for you to use in your designs. And this is great, and you can get them in color and in those subtles and regals and brights and neutral colors as well. So I just think they're gorgeous. I like this leaf pattern. But what I thought I'd do today is introduce you to a new fun fold card design. So let's go ahead, and I am going to flip the camera down here so that you can see it a little bit better than right now. So there it is in the larger screen. And I'm going to play with Strawberry Slush today and use these papers in my design. Let me get out my trimmer. Back up my computer just a little bit. There we go. All right, we've got our Strawberry Slush. And we're going to make a modified gatefold card with a slider. Okay, so let me show you first how we're going to do the gatefold card. So this is my usual half a card of 8.5 by 11. So this is actually 8.5 by 5.5. And instead of scoring it at 4 1/4 like I usually do, I'm actually going to score this differently to create the gatefold. So I am going to score it at 1 1/4 on this side. And make sure I have my scoring blade, not my cutting blade. Hello, Kim. Hi, Donna. Donna, thank you for loving and sharing this video. Your confidence, I really appreciate it. And it's so nice when you share it with others. And then we're going to do 3 inches on this side and score that again. And you're going to see why we call this a modified gatefold, because a gatefold card would be to put this right in the center. And I'm doing it modified off to one side. Okay, so let's just slide this off for a moment. We're going to need it again as we are making our mechanism that actually slides to close our card. And we'll use it over here to get a nice crisp fold. All right, so there is our modified gatefold card. Now, just to do this simply, I'm going to make the inside. Now, the inside of the card is the same size as usual, so I'm just using white. Oops, sorry about that. 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I'm just taking a scrap that is 3/4 inches by 4 inches to kind of decorate this up a little bit. So let me get my glue here, and I'll first put this inside my card. And I'm just going to leave a little white on the bottom and then just have this go across. We all have these scraps. Don't waste them. I encourage you, while you're making the card, to actually put it in the card so you don't forget. Okay. And I'm just going to center this right inside. And there we have the inside of the card already completed. Now I'm going to use those pieces of designer series paper. And what's so nice is with one set of paper, by just flipping them back and forth, I'm actually going to come up with not 3, but when I do the mechanism, you're going to see the 4th look at the card. Okay, so this first side panel here is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And then the larger top panel here is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4 across, 2 3/4, because this is a 3-inch panel. And then the bottom one is 2 inches by the 2 3/4. And what that does together, because I'm going to push them right up next to each other, is these two together equal 5 1/4 inches. And you could actually cut that any way that you would like. So let's go ahead and just glue down these panels. So what's nice about this is I'm having the designer series paper do the work here. And so I haven't even used a stamp yet. So just know you can do a lot with designer series paper, or you can stamp cardstock and make your own designer series paper that can be layered on top of your card base. So there's lots of choices for how you want to design this card. All right, now I'm just going to put this one up here, being mindful that I'm kind of keeping all of the borders the same. And then when I push up the second one, it's going to also be doing that same thing. So let's just get the glue on the back of here. And let's see, I want my leaves to be going the right direction. And then I'm just going to slide it right up to be next to the other designer series paper. And there is the front of our card. And now we've got a background, or we can say, I really like this, it's done. But we're going to put the slider in here now before we do some decorating on that slider. So I decided to use this to the point label. And let me show you that. So that is a bundle with the Bright Borders stamp set. And there's also another one. I'm not sure the name of it. And they both match this punch. I'm going to tell you why I use this punch in just a moment. But anyway, nice little things to outline your punched image, as well as very nice sentiments come in this set. And then I'm going to use pretty florals. Now I'm not going to be stamping. I'm actually going to use some die cuts that match with this set today to do just a little decorating. All right, so let's get working on the mechanism. So what we are going to do is we need at least 4 of these for the mechanism. And if you decide that you want to do some a sentiment on the front of the card, you might want to use this same image. And oops, let me cut that off. It's a little getting stuck in the punch here. You might want to do the same design. So I just try to keep this as close as I can so I can get as many out of one piece of paper. There's 3, 4, and I'm going to see if I can get a 5th one out of here. Sure we can. Okay, I love punches. They're fast. And with this design that we're doing today, just throw that away. Why I'm liking this punch is because to make this mechanism, we need to fold this exactly in half, and then we're going to reattach these things together. So what I like is I can use the points of this punch, here if I go like that, you can see them better, to find exactly the middle. And then when I fold this over and I glue this all together to create the mechanism, I'm going to be able to know that I am right in line so that my mechanism is very equal on each side. Now you could use circles, you can use squares, but just know finding the middle point is important. So you can measure for that and make little pencil marks to do that, whatever you want to do. But that's why I like this punch. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. Oh boy, thunderstorm this morning. You know what? I have to tell you all, it's gorgeous here in Wisconsin, at least in my part of Wisconsin today. And the humidity has kind of gone away. It's just beautiful out in the mid 70s. So as you can see, now when I'm placing this on here, I am going to use the scoring tool to make a crisp fold because I want my mechanism to slide. So I've just lined this up with the little trough here and on this side right on the point. And then I'm going to just be careful when I put this down and run my scoring blade over that. And I need to do that to another one. So 2 of these are going to actually have this score on them. And what's really nice is this punch sits right in my trimmer where I want it to. Now, how often does that work that way, right? Okay, so we've got that one scored. And now we've got 2 other pieces to make our mechanism. So I'm going to keep this here, the front, the back, and now let's go ahead and I am going to use my bone folder to fold this over and make a nice crisp fold on there. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Oh, this score looks like it's a little off. Ooh. Let's see if I can just fix that a little bit. This is going to end up being glued between two of the other punches. So if it looks like you had to adjust the fold, it'll be hidden. But it's better to adjust it now before you try to glue it. All right. So we've got that. Now we're going to make our mechanism. That's the sliding mechanism. So we take what is the base, and I'm going to take one of these that is folded in half, and I'm going to put glue on just one side of this. And line this up, and I find that I line it up this way by looking at it. And then as you're trying to push this in place, you can use the table, or if you can see that it's going together the way you want it to, you don't have to, but otherwise you can go like this, and that helps you shore it up, okay? So we've got 1/2 is now attached on here. Now I'm going to go to the other side and make sure that I glue the right panel here. So the bottom. Okay. And I am butting it right up against the other one. And then I'm going to also eyeball it and make sure I can see that those points are coming together and tight. Okay. Now, if you wanted to do stamping on the white, I would do it before you attach it to the top of the mechanism. But I'm actually going to be doing something on top of some designer series paper, which I'm going to add on. And I am going to do this whole white because I like the way this looks. So I could just put the designer series paper, but remember that's paper, not cardstock. So I kind of like the fact that this is a little cardstock. Gives me a little more structure because you're going to be sliding this back and forth on your card. So I think a little stronger is better. And then I'm just going to line up these points. All right, and then I'm going to show you we've created this mechanism here that's going to slide in between the gate folds of our card. So I'm just going to set that to the side right now, and I'm going to bring out my other designer series paper, which I also punched out. And then I have a few flowers here that I have already die cut. And you could do this all monochromatic if you wanted, but I'm actually going to use another color. I'm going to use the ugly duckling here. Ugly, oh sorry, darling duckling. I don't know why I always say that wrong. I guess everybody knows the story about the ugly duckling, right? Okay, so let me get out my silicone mat and put this upside down. And then I've got my, I think they go this way actually. Okay, and I'm going to put just a little glue on my flowers where they kind of hold up the blossoms here. So just the tiniest little drops on here. And then we'll put a few more on once we know we've got this where we want it. I'm going to actually flip these over and then line them up with where the base of the stem is for them. Not pushing too hard because I want to double check it by looking at the other side. So that first one's pretty good. This one needs to be slid just a little bit. Oops, slid that one right off. Okay, so then I'm going to put it back upside down and just put a little glue on all of the flowers again. And I'm going to put a dot on every leaf. And the bottom of the stem here. Okay. And then remember, I want to make sure the points are going up and down. And I'm going to center this right on my mechanism. Now you could put a sentiment on here too, not a picture. But I kind of liked this and I wanted to show you how pretty this die cut is. All right, now I'm actually going to adhere it to the top of the mechanism. So let's get a little more glue on here. Okay. Okay, while that's just drying, before we try to bend it on our card, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp two options for the sentiment here. And I have to tell you, I took advantage of the In Colors promotion, and I don't have the In Color ink pads yet. And I do have the markers, but I don't know where I put them. So I'm going to use my closest color, I think, to Strawberry Slush is Melon Mambo. This is a little bit darker, but that's what I'm going to use to kind of keep this card monochromatic. Now, I could use black. Black for your sentiments, goes with everything. But that's up to you. Now I've got Melon Mambo on my hands. Oh, well. So let's go ahead. We can either make this card say, congrats. Now this is from the Bright Border set. So let's pull this down a little bit and just hope we end up in the center there. Yeah, it's kind of on the bottom. Let's try one more time. At least it was straight. Let's see if this time we're better at being in the center. I guess my MO today is right along the bottom. So we'll just keep that one. Okay, and then there is the stamp that goes around as a border on this punch. Now you could obviously stamp this and then punch it. I don't know why I'm making it hard on myself by lining it up after it's punched, but that's what I'm doing today. So here we go. And then let's go ahead and take, this is Yay, So Happy for You. And just center this. All right, so we've got that. Now, shut this. And we're going to look at the options we have. So the one is going to be whether or not we want to put this, let's see, across our mechanism. So I'm just going to make a little banner out of this one. So the question is, do I want to leave it thicker like this, or actually I'm going to get longer scissors and I'm going to try to cut straight. Let's see what happens with this. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my little scissors here and just make a teeny tiny banner. So I'm going to cut right in the center, and then I'll cut a triangle up to match that center. And I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Okay, so we have that as a choice. Let's go ahead and put our mechanism in. So what we're going to do is slide the X that we've made between all these layers. And we're going to just slide that over the two sides of the gatefold. And then we're just going to slide this right down, and it holds your card shut. And I like that it has the little decoration. So you could put just the congrats right along here and not add anything to the front. Or you can take this and you can match the same design and put this up in the corner. Now, I don't like how this is a little off center, so I would suggest stamping, then punching. You're much more likely to get a better image. Here, let's do this that way and see how much easier it is to get it straight. I think I'll go this way. So whenever you're using a punch, make sure you're towards the edge of a piece of cardstock so you can reach, your punch can get inside and actually make the cuts that you want it to. All right, and then let's go back and do this sentiment again. Okay. And now let's use our punch. And the nice thing is, if you don't know, so when you're using a punch, you can press down and you can double check everything before you push all the way. And that one little leaf on the bottom isn't quite where I want it. But now it's all in line. So when I punch, you're guaranteed that it comes off better. So you can see where this one's a little off. This one's perfect. Now, will someone notice that? Probably not, but I know it. So I like to do it even. Okay. So then what I would do, but because I have the mechanism, I would not punch, I would not put that up on dimensionals because you want this to slide over this. So let's do both sentiments on this card just because we can. And I'm going to glue this one down up in the corner. And I like that it is complementary to the mechanism. It matches. And then I'm going to just keep this flat too because the mechanism does stick up a little bit. And I don't want to put dimensionals under here when I'm putting this in an envelope. Anything you can do to have it be less likely to get stuck in something at the post office is probably in your best interest. So we'll just put that right over the stems. And there. That is a finished card using strawberry slush and the mechanism. And this can slide up and off or down. And then you have the inside of your card, which you can also, put a sentiment in there too if you want. Or you can leave it all for your message. Okay, and then you want to see this in another color. I also did it in Darling Duckling. There, I said it right this time. And use just a little strawberry slush to make that look a little interesting. And I left that front plain. So 2 examples now. How nice would it be to use all 5 in colors and then put this together with a big bow and you give someone some cards that don't have some of their own. Hi, Jill. Very hot in St. Andrews. Not often so warm. Loving the demo. Thank you. I'm well. Thanks for joining today. Donna, I'm glad you like the colors on the slider. It makes this fun. Now, remember the promo through this month. So the 5th through August 30th, I think, is it 30th or 31st? I can't remember how many days there are this month. But anyway, till the end of the month, you can get 15% off anything that has in colors in it. So there's other designer series paper that have at least 1 in color in them, then they're on sale. If you go into my Stampin' Store, you'll find that there's a whole section that says in colors, and then anything you find on those pages has a 15% discount. And if you buy at least $50 worth of Stampin' Up! Products this month in August, I have this 4-card free tutorial using Peaceful Garden. And this is going to be a new set coming out September 3rd, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I am going to do a bonus class on this October 3rd. And this would be great for your Christmas cards. Otherwise, it's great for friendship cards, sympathy cards, thinking of you cards. But here's 4 ideas for either using this or any other designer series paper or stamp sets that you have. And I would be honored to just get this off via email for you when you make a product purchase with Plum Crazy Stamping. All right, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. I have something exciting coming next week. I'm going to be launching a new program of sketch cards, and then every week I'm going to give you a different card using those sketches for you to use and help you be inspired and maybe take all the questions out of designing cards to get to those that you love and send some happy mail. Anyway, more to come on that. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy stamping, friends. Bye-bye now.